Hello guys, so this is the last video of the end of the year, and from next week, new year guys, so happy holidays and happy new year. Hope you had a wonderful year. We can see that 2023 was a wonderful year for who invest in the beginning or even did a dollar cost average. We ending the month green, which is good, but just remember we almost had the same thing last 2022, and then we dropped down. Can it be this year? See what happened here, and in green, push a little bit, reverse. If we check 19, continuation, 18, sideways, 17, continuation, and so on. So last prediction was that if we go to the weekly, and last prediction that we seem to lose the momentum. We can see the tail from up above and from down, and for me, my last prediction was that if we don't see moving up, opening with a gap down, it will be continuation, much weaker continuation, and you can see that on the daily. This is the end, this is the beginning. Open with a small gap up, continue, move down. So basically did nothing. It's almost a doji. You can see it on the weekly again, almost a doji. So indecision, and it's okay because it's the end of the year. People putting some sell orders, I don't know, for taxes reason maybe, and stuff. So so most of our prediction was about, I think, 80% correct. Some of which was indecision, so opening from above for continuation, opening from below for continuation, like in Apple and stuff. So new prediction for next week, what's gonna happen? In the S&P, we still didn't manage to attack above the all-time high, the 480, but we are getting there. If we taking some Fibonacci level, let's say from here, there, and here, you see the target, the 100% target, 190, let's say, which is nice. 520. We're gonna take some time to reach there. And if we are seeing the stochastic, we can see it facing down. So you can see it here. This is 98, this is 96.70, 96.06, 95.54, and it's basically struggling, and it's a little bit below the slow K. So it could mean retracement maybe, but it's easily to see on the weekly. The momentum is positive, so why go against if you don't see like a red candle taking down two green candle? So far positive for next week. If we watching the daily, you can see the daily, and this is what worries me. This is a big sell-off at the end of the year, continuation, and again sell-off. So here you can see the volume, so let's stay with this, and you can see the volume there. You can see here bigger volume, you can see here volume, here volume. So selling at this point. Bigger volume doesn't mean that there is only sellers. It means there is a lot of interesting. So this is the main reason, because you see at the end selling and trying to maybe, I don't know, opening new position. I think this is mostly algo who touched a key position of the S&P and tried to hold. if we go for the now let's put it on the 1 hour chart and let's move on to the 4 hour chart. We can see that there is not much resistance beside the 480, which is the all-time high. What happened if we cross it and close above? No sellers guys, so only short people who try to predict a reversal. So there is no more short squeeze, so it's an opening for continuation. And the 480 is going to be a tough one. We can see already momentum started to be negative. We can see divergence. Momentum is making lower highs, while the price action is making higher highs. So maybe this is the end. Stochastic inside, so nothing much to say about, even though it's below the 50. So again, like the momentum here is weakening. But usually when we get this, there is two possibilities, as always. You can see it here. It's become negative, but the price action is moving up, so it means divergence. So it means that the sellers try to push, but the buyers holding. Sellers try to push down, the buyers are holding. Sellers try to push down, and the buyers are holding until they fade, and then the sellers and the buyers prevail and winning, and you have the squeeze for the upside. So maybe we're gonna have this again, but I think this time the sellers much stronger. They have best opportunity to sell in this high, and you can see it here. It's moving down, and then a break. So I will be looking for a break. There is a lots of support below. You can see it here. The 466 is a great support for bouncing up, while taking in all the short sellers in for moving down and then bouncing up again. Could be interesting to see. But I think we are entering a period of a slow grinding, and a slow grinding is good for the option sellers and buyers, because if the market is moving slowly sideways, even a little bit to the upside or downside, they are making most of the profit because there is not much volatility, so they can have a lots of profit with the simple strategy they have. And after that, we're gonna see volatility coming, because now the market will try to take out all their profit, and it start to give in a lot of momentum and volatility to the stock prices. So it's gonna be very interesting, and I think it's gonna take till the mid of January grinding, and then we're gonna see volatility coming to the market. Gonna be interesting. So far I see a start of a negative momentum, no divergences, and could be interesting. But again, the same goes. Any pullback will bring buyers. So you're gonna see a pullback here, you're gonna see buy. You're gonna get pullback here, you're gonna see the buys. You're gonna get pullback here, you're gonna see the buyers. What I think it's gonna be grinding. Let's the moving average dynamics support moving to the upside, and then create a pullback to rest and bring more buyers to the game. If we go for the 1 hour chart, let me make it smaller. You can see there is no trend break. So moving up, it's tried to come back to the moving average and bounce up. I think it will eventually. Last week was that below the 472 for the moving down. If it open with a gap up, it will just move slowly up, and as it did, it wasn't a real prediction, just two possibilities, so I don't call it a prediction. So just waiting game, and this is also the game, but it was a good call. You have a lot, you can see the tail here, you have a lot of buyers, so if it's managed to push below, a lot of stop losses gonna hit, and you're gonna see it immediately in Tesla in the 1 minute chart. We're gonna do it quick. You see it here. This is moving down, so lower low. This is here. So it means no divergence for the moving for the downside, which means it could move to up and trying to touch here. It's going to be interesting. Momentum is start to be negative. And you could see it here, what's happened. This is moving down, and this is a little bit move also down. So what it did, it's tried to push up, entering more buyers, and then it tried to take them out. So I think I want to see the reaction to this area below the 470 to see what happened, because there is a lot of sellers, a lot of buyers put stop losses here, and if it managed to take them out, moving for the downside, there is still a lot of gaps from below. Let's check in the daily. You have a gap here. It closed 468. You have a small gap where it is here, 450. You have a big gap here, 441. And could be interesting to see because you can see it here. Move up, move up, move up, move up. Eventually it managed to close it. Eventually it managed to close it. And if 80% of the gap being closed, and I know it's been closed in a period of maybe 2 weeks or 1 month, it's going to be interesting to see if it managed to close the 422 gaps. Could be very interesting. But a lot of gap. 1, 2, this is close, 4, alright, where it is, else 5. Just looking in the eye, maybe I'm wrong, 5, 6 gaps from below. So 80% chance, 4 of them need to close. Let's say 1, 2, 3. Oh my god. So it could reach to the 440. And again, buyers will like it. It will give them better opportunity to re-enter and dollar cost average the position, because they know they are so close for the 480. So it will mean it will bring more buyers to push up and break the 480, and this could be very hard to break. So at the 1 hour chart, let's sum it up. Momentum is negative, movement is moving up, no divergence for the moving for the down, so clear divergence for continuation, which is red. And also if we check it here, this is 1218, this is probably below 6. It's moved down, so it means sellers are in the house. You can see it here. You don't need the stochastic for it, but there is no divergence, so it means it should continue lower, and it did not. It continued higher, maintain higher. It didn't make much divergences, maybe here for small continuation and a fade. So it's not a clear a breakdown. It just means a reversal is coming, so be patient. You could see it here. It didn't, if it was like this one, this was a good one. You can see it. This is a continuation higher, and it did. And we don't get it yet. So far, moving for the downside, maybe for the beginning of next week. You know what? Let's go for the 15. Usually don't do so. At the 15. See the big volume. So what we have here, see it here. This is why not all divergences work. This is a continuation higher, right? From here, but it didn't. It didn't. It tried to grind. It tried to grind. It tried to grind and failed. And failed. And what we got here, this is higher high. From there, this is lower high. So it means moving for the downside. So where you're gonna move for the downside, maybe for 474 for the downside. If you, this is after market hours, so maybe for, I don't know, 75 for the downside, for 74.70. It didn't look good, but again, we don't have the indication. So if the 15 minutes will open there and close below, it could mean to retest again, even retest here the lows at the beginning of the weeks. If I'm checking my algo, it still have some powers. It could be the last push, so probably it will eventually attack the 480. I don't know if at the moment, because this was a big move for the upside. The S&P made a big move for the upside with almost no retracement, and this is not that good. So it means it's locked a lot of profit. People didn't take all the profit, so now it will need to make them take a lot of profit in order to attack the 480 again. I can see a little bit of weakness. So the sellers came in at the 475, 476. The sellers came in. The buyers tried to attack them, but it was the end of the session. So it didn't finish. So a lot of sellers enter 476, 475. The buyers tried to attack them. You can see it here. Didn't manage to do so. So they closed position here, and now they are waiting for next week. I think Monday there is not. This is a holiday, so only on Tuesday. Gonna be interesting. Let's move on. I know I talked about too long, so let's make it quick. Qs the same. Let's move it for the 60. Same goes. Oh, this is from last week. You can see this was my end goal for the first target. This is the second target. What it did, touch it, open from above, immediately sell off. Nice prediction. Momentum started. Same goes negative. Nothing much there. No divergences. Try to make small divergences here, which is a good sign. So again, opening above the 410, trying to attack again, opening below, moving, but there is a lot of support for below, so don't think it's going to be a big move for the downside. A lot of support, a lot of profit taking, and a lot of buyers are in profit, so be very careful. You want to see the buyers panicking if you want to make a bigger move for the downside. If we check it on the daily, you can see it attacked and moved and didn't close. So far, probably moving to the 4.6, maybe for the 4.2. Let me check something here. Yes, again, the Qs is much weaker, but it's okay because it's more volatile than the S&P. S&P, the buyers give more strength than the Qs at the end of the session, and the Qs didn't. So I could see if the Qs opening and close below the 408.50, it could mean a move for the downside for the 402. And if it managed to clear the 410, 411, and close above, meaning move for the 414 and even above. Let's move on to Tesla. Tesla was very interesting because we see the close here, and when there is a close, my assumption is going for the next to attack the high here. And what it did, it pushed down. It moves a little bit up and then rejected, taking out all the stop losses and then pushed to the upside. And now it's closed here. So maybe attack again the 240, the support from below. Momentum is still, there is no divergences. Let me check it here. You know what? A small one, but little bit open, gap down, and immediately it cleared the divergence because this is a lower low. This is not yet lower low, so open a little bit and then push for the support. So I'm bearish, but I will be looking out for the move for the downside. You can see it here, it didn't break it yet. There is no divergence there, small divergence here. I want to see it, it's still, momentum is positive, even if it's below my average. You see it still has some strength. So not all close is bearish, and you see when it become bearish, it immediately push up. So I'm waiting to see if it's gonna make a small move and boom, spike to the upside. Tesla like to do so. You can see it here, how it touched, and immediately this is a Fibonacci level, old Fibonacci levels. When it touched, immediately, so it means there are sellers. You can see it here, sellers coming in, sellers coming in. Sellers, don't let it push above the 270, 269. So sellers are in the house. Where they're going to disappear, I don't know. But at the moment, big candle, big candle, big candle, small candles for the upside. Even though the momentum, you can see the averages, is a positive one, I'm a little bit pessimistic about Tesla. So maybe better profit taking at the beginning of the year. Let me check something on the weekly. Just the rejection, nothing much. So again, profit taking, what it did, you can see it here. Divergence for the divergence, but I needed to, this is the low 247, this is the low 247. So below 247, moving for the downside a little bit in the shorter term. This is what Tesla, Apple was a good prediction, easy one. For the support, moving up again, retest. This is a beginning of 3 candles, so be very careful for continuation. Momentum is negative there. There is a short sign, so moving for the downside. Again, you can see it becoming red, purple here. So momentum is down, no divergences yet. So needs to clear it. If it managed to push, it could clear the gap. You see the gap there? I think there is a gap here. It wants to clear out. Let's check the daily. Daily, we saw the 3 soldiers and we knew continuation for the downside, resting a little bit. And this is a good one for Apple because I told you there is a profit taking and any pullback get bought. So you see it push below, getting in, and push higher. So buyers are in the house. So in order to push down a little bit further, it needs to clear this one, but there is divergence for the upside. It didn't clear yet as I want to. You see it above it, so it crossed. So if it crossed, maybe enter above, maybe enter above. Any move for the downside, put your entry from above of the close. Could be interesting. If it can continue a little bit lower and rest a little bit, push the moving average a little bit higher, touch it, and then try to attack all-time high, which was here. I think could be very interesting if we look at it on the weekly basis. This is all-time high, no divergence, which is good. So in the longer term, moving higher. At the moment, could be sideways move, resting a little bit like here. Moving down, take up all, moving up, resting, and then push for the upside. It needs to preserve some power in order to move further to the upside. NVIDIA. This is good. It tried to attack the all-time high, the 500, and it rejected, and this is a good sign, even though don't take too much time. And you can see it here. You can draw a trend here. If it breaks, again breaking to the downside, bringing more buyers. You can see a big divergence. This is why I like to see big divergence, so it means it wants to push higher. Be very careful, because if it managed to push higher, this is going to be a false break. It managed to close above. Immediately, a lot of people will enter, and it will create a divergence for reversal. It immediately fail, and then sideways, and then try to make the real break. So be very careful from this break, entering in, pushing down, taking out, sideways a little bit and then try to make the push for the upside. So or you put your stop losses far, or you wait a little bit, because if it breaks up, wait for it. Even if it go like here and come here, then you can re-enter if you want to. This is the weekly. Let's look at the daily, how it looks. You can see it here. You can see it maybe left shoulder, maybe head, right shoulder. Try to attack the 500. 502 maybe could be interesting. Do we see something? Not that much clear. Here nothing much is a positive. We know it's even if we saw the moving and a break and being positive here, I knew it's gonna be very slow. So this is a sideways. Be very careful. You want to see, and you see it here, even if it push higher, it's gonna create a divergence for the upside. So be very careful. First, bring the buyers, rest, and then try to push up with the divergence. Not like this one. This is a divergence for the upside, which is good. You can see it here, but it made the move, it made the move, it made the move, and didn't manage to break. So not all divergences are an attempt for a break and moving for the upside. It didn't manage to break. This is it. So you know what? Let's take it here. Let's put it something for really like here. So it reached the first goal. Next goal, this one, and goal here. So in order to do so, it needs to rest a little bit and then try to break. If it managed to close above, yes, next target is a very possibility, but not at the moment. There is no clear sign. Most of the time, there are no clear sign. So this is NVIDIA. Let's go for Meta. Alright, Meta, grinding, reached, then boom, reverse, any pullback, divergence, it clear this no, it didn't, so it didn't push lower, so but it didn't finish the pattern, so we need to wait, any move for the downside, we have divergence, which is good, and then we can do something like this one. We can go here. So maybe resting at the 38, maybe resting at the 50, gonna be good sign. If it will rest on the 50, it definitely create divergence, and then you can enjoy a few percent to the upside. So be a little bit patient. At the moment, the no break of trend continuation. It need a pullback to the 348, 348. Sometimes they are aligned. You can see it here, it managed to break and closed above, and now it's resting. So if it closes below, it will move here back again. So give you a few signs to follow. mRNA is an amazing. I don't like it, but it's amazing. Moving to the upside. We saw the divergence was a nice move. Again, you can see it here. So close above the 100, trying to attack again the 105. Gonna be a nice 5%, 4% move if you like it. I'm not. Here, move for the upside. Momentum is positive. Small divergence yet. So if we take it from here to there, resting on the 97, better resting on the 95, and then moving for the upside. And BA is resting sideways. Oh my god, this is what I think the market's going to do, because you see momentum is going down, but the price action is resting. So it building power, the buyers building power, entering more short sellers, and then try to break up, and boom, spike to the upside. That's it. This is what they're trying to do. You can see divergence here. So And this is what worries me, because I like to see something like this and then a break, and it is small one. So maybe we are already in for the break for the upside above this line, maybe to attack the 270 could be interesting. So be very, if you like BA, I don't like BA, but if you like it, could be very interesting. And all right, so let's continue for the gold. All right, the kid, sorry. Gold. I don't think I managed to make a good prediction here. I saw the momentum for the downside. I saw the weakness, but it opened with a moving for the gap up and then move down. So at the moment is strong, creating the beginning of divergence for the upside, so could be interesting. I know it started to be a little bit negative, but even if it fell for the 190, could be a good buy call for the gold. You can see it here. Tried to break, failed, and managed to break. So next target 196, but it immediately fell down. This is again false break, which is good. But what happens if it's coming above the 191? Could be very interesting. So you have the position. Be very careful, even though momentum is positive and there are no divergences. So it's going to be or grinding or going sideways. And sometimes it can be spike up, taking down from the upside, taking down from the downside, and then try to do the push. At the moment, I'm still positive about the gold. Let's make it smaller, you can see it more clearly. I'm still positive about the gold, you can see it here. Yes, but it's going to be more difficult. We have the divergence, which is good, the buyers are strong. Silver, a little bit weaker, if I remember correct. Let me check. Yes, a little bit weaker. You can see it didn't make the push up and down, it just made sideways a little bit, push down. And there are no divergences for here, and here the reversal, you can see it here, and this is the break. So a lot of people took short there, try to take them out and then give them the profit, and we don't have divergence yet, so a little bit waiting time. If it managed to get to the 2150, even 2120, the silver like the 21, a lot of buyer coming in from the 21, so it can even spike and then immediately go for the upside. Could be very interesting. At the moment, a little bit momentum negative, it can push the gold lower. And if we check it here, we can see the spike up, spike down, big candle. So buyers are in the house. This is a big, you don't see any candle like this. Maybe this one, but you can see it here much bigger. So resting on this support I draw, rejected from this one, it managed to close. So I'm positive in the longer term, which doesn't do right with the S&P, because if the metals are going higher, this is a defensive sector. Could be interesting. No divergences yet. Divergence here, it didn't finish the move, so it can grind. Be prepared for it. Oxy, the oil, come on. Oxy. Let me look at the 4. I want it and I think it will. I know, I'm stubborn. It always stuck at the 56 several times, and you can see it here. Stuck at the 56 and move up. Stuck at the 56 and I don't know. I'm 53, guys. And again, it's break up, moving for the downside, creating divergence, which is nice. Trying to clear it. So if we draw again Fibonacci level from there to there, maybe resting at the 38, 58, more appealing, and then moving for the upside. This is the reason why I'm not touching the oil again, or the gas sector. I heard people call it the widowmaker, and I will wait for it to give better signs. At the moment, negative, even though it's tried to be positive. But but it's in a positive in a negative way because the momentum is down. If we check it on the 1 hour, you can see it here. So this is the nice reversal, taking out all the stop losses, moving down. So could be continuation at the moment, big sell off, and you can see it moving down, moving down, moving down. So this is creating a flag. So if it would break below the 59, could break down, could be interesting. If we have a break of trend, I think we do have a break of trend, which means we could see a spike up, taking out and closing the gap here, and then a continuation for the downside. So IWM, this is I think almost the end. We are in a 35 minutes, stronger, much stronger, because it's okay. We saw its strength. It was delayed compared to the Qs and the S&P. Now it's trying to catch it. You have a trend here, so if it breaks, it could mean continuation for the upside. It's still very positive, no break of trend, which is good. If we look in it on the 4-hour chart, again, you can see it resting, break, resting, break, resting, break. Now this is not resting, this is pulling back. So this is the first pullback. Again, there is a divergence, it didn't clear. So if it managed to clear above, be very careful for the moving for the 190 again. If I see a cross, if I see it resting, I will look maybe an entry for again the 205 and maybe coming to the upside. You can see it on the daily what it did, selling, creating divergence. It didn't finish the pattern, so it can continue lower, but you can say that if you take the Fibonacci level from here to there, you can see it resting here, didn't manage, so better option to come to this area of liquidity and from there try to move for the upside. I'm positive about this one, but I'm again always looking for the move for the downside either way. So let's finish, guys. For the S&P, momentum is negative, pullback. Any pullback will meet the buyers, so this is the reason, the main reason why I'm positive about it, but it doesn't mean it's gonna do it won't do moving for the downside. There are lots of gaps, 6 or maybe 7, even if I will try to be more correct. So it means that we're gonna see eventually the pullback, but when is a mystery at the moment. Momentum start to be negative. We saw more big stock are negative and try to make the bigger pullback and to rest on there and to see the strength of the buyers. So gonna be very interesting. It was a very good year for the average for the S&P. The average is 10%. I think the S&P give how much? 25% maybe. So in order to be on the average, maybe we're gonna see a negative year. You know what? Let's do this. Do we think 2024 will be a positive 10% move for the upside from here is about 520. Gonna be very interesting. I know a lot of people who are in this market giving this prediction, a lot of bank 520, because just it's 10%. Gonna be very interesting. Do I see it continue straight? I don't know. This is too stretch. And if it will come for the, let's say 450 and then do this move, the 500 could be more interesting. So from here it's going to be make 5%. If you wait for the pullback, it's going to be give you more. So I'm positive about it, but I'm not that positive about the strength. You can see it can move up, push down, move up, push down, move up, sideways. This is the break. It's okay. So now it's move up. I'm waiting for the break. And this is the main reason why I'm positive about it, because I see it so close, I know it will attack it. And when it attack it, all-time high, free, move for the upside, even though if it will be a grinding. If it push down, even better, guys, even better. I'm waiting for this move for the downside. And you can say this is a cup and handle, so this is the break. If it managed, let's say around number 450, this is 350, 100, so 100 to the upside, 550, guys. Could be very interesting. So this is it, guys. Hope you like it. See you guys later. And again, Happy New Year.